Hello there. How's it going, everybody? I say everybody. Hello, Raichu. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I have, no idea what we're gonna do today. We have a thing we started last, Tuesday. And, I'm not sure how I feel about it. So, we got that. That's where we're at. We're gonna fade some music out. Yep. And then turn the music off for me so that it's just awkwardly silent. How's it going, dude? Good to see you. And I need to do one thing before we get started. Yes, that. And does that make it to where this now works? Yes, it does. Good deal. Okay, today has been it's fine. Yeah, today was kind of meh for me too. It was just long. Went out of town for work and then had to come back and work in town, which the job was supposed to be kind of simple and it took 3 hours. Not for like any like obnoxious reasons, just trying to line up holes. So, but yeah, here's where we're at. So my plan today, for the first part of today at least, is fill out this little region I've made here, with some ideas derived from this. So let's get some context and just sort of play what we got. Me. We'll turn it up a bit. Great bass playing. Definitely not sarcastic towards myself at all. Yeah, okay. Don't play it again. Don't play it again. Yeah, the tracks are all here. We're very, very sparse in the arrangement right now. And a lot of this was kind of just like, okay, let's stretch this out a little bit more and try to build this. But yeah, that's where we're at. Kind of a cool idea, and it kind of just came out like that. It's not the initial idea I had. So I think what I'm going to do this time is actually make the idea itself. So, I guess to get started, I'm going to make myself a little drum track here. And it should be... yeah, that. Where am I? Oh yeah. Okay, right. This, I forgot. This kit does not have a snare sample that I like. So actually, I was going to use to start loading up my my obnoxious setup for drums as opposed to this one E-kit track right here, but that'll take a while because I'll have to load up a separate project and then copy all those tracks into this one, which is like 10 extra tracks. So figure we'll just work with what we've got for now for the sake of keeping things going. All right, let's see. We're gonna do like a... We might make ourselves a little snare that kind of approximates what I'm going for. Oh, whoops. Hmm. Hmm. I realized I was writing whole notes. Like this, maybe. Just do that for a hot minute. Let's see. We clap and then we clap harder. Yeah, that's kind of fun. It's a little rhythmic variation. I think it was a little bit interesting. And we're not gonna we're not re-recording these guitars. So that's what, yeah, that's what I want. Huh? That's not right. That's not right at all. Hang on. Why aren't you... What? Okay. And then we're gonna make it way less 1990s hip-hop. I've got an idea for like a piano thing. It's a ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Not up there. Right. Oh. We got a little thing like that, and we can throw that wherever I need to. Actually gonna cut it out. Maybe right there. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, I like that. No, fifth. Move forward. More forward than that. Maybe just measure 2. Why? Yeah, music is pretty cool. Music is pretty cool, and it totally doesn't make me want to tear my hair out. By the way, I'm 15 minutes later than what the schedule says because I was waiting for my hair to dry before I put headphones on for the next 2 hours, potentially. Assuming I can make this thing last that long. It's like it. Yeah, something like that. Me, let me remember where the hold pedal is. God, how do I MIDI hold pedal? There we go. I think. Do that. Yeah, there we go. Also, the starts of a melody. Oh my God, I was worried about that. We need to put you. Why are you not being heard? Huh. Okay. We will do this then. Take you down like 5 dB, put you up like 5 dB. Instruments I can play. So like in like skill order, if I'm gonna put it like this, like in terms of like confidence in my ability to play them. So like first to last, guitar, then probably bass, then drums, then keyboard. But then, like in college, because I studied music education, I got to learn things like I did a full semester on cello, and that was really fun. Um, and then like, all of like malleted percussion, that kind of stuff. Uh, I also got to do, I also got to learn, uh, oh my God, what was it? I got to learn pretty much everything that you'd need to like start up a 6th grade band program. So I got to learn how to play stuff like flute and oboe and clarinet and bassoon, although I only got to spend a little bit of time on each of those. I know cello's so good. um, but my main instrument in college for like that world was actually trumpet, which was funny because I was like a mid-tier student of that, and I don't play anymore because, to be honest with you, my professor made me hate the instrument. Just made it not fun anymore. But I found out that I really probably should have played French horn the entire time because that is a fun instrument. That is a really fun instrument. Cello was really fun. French horn was really fun. Um, Trombone was decently fun. Tuba was all right. Uh, so I got a decent amount of experience. I'm really only as decent as I am on piano anymore. Like I'm not so much anymore. Like I think the last thing I played for piano was the oh my God, the last Toho album I did, which is like 3 years ago. Like, and I did some like serious playing, right? Um, I also got to play some different kind of instruments. Um, Like I got to play organ once for like an actual thing. That was really cool. It was only like 30 seconds of music that it was needed, so they play it like right at the beginning. But that was really fun. I roomed with a guy who was the only organ student, or like one of two, and he was like an engineering student, so he didn't take it very far, but he like taught me the basic technique for stuff because I already had like a foundation on piano. And yeah, it's interesting like the technique you like using your foot because you have the organ we played had like two rows of keys, and then you have the footboard below you that sits below your feet, so you play with your feet as well as your hands. And I kind of asked, is like, so like, what is the technique for like playing with your feet? And like, it's a lot of rolling and stepping, not really stepping over yourself, but it's like, you know, hold your heel down and then step over, like move your toes across and that kind of stuff. Which funny thing, gave me a really good technique with my something that I think is really weird that I can do now when I play drum set, which I don't play drum set anymore because I live on the second floor of an apartment. But something I found out I can do because I play double bass, right? Because metal musician, hilarious. Um, is I can hold, I can use like the slave pedal. So like the secondary pedal, I can hold that down. I can play double pedal while holding down the hi-hat pedal. So like the hi-hat pedal, or the hi-hat's played with like a pedal and like it's typically open and then you step on the pedal to close it, right? I don't even know if this has. Oh, this is not a piano. This is not a drum set. So I can do like some really really weird stuff with it, right? Like you got open hi-hat, step on the pedal, you get closed hi-hat. I can do that with my heel while holding down like pushing down on the slave kick pedal with my toes. It's this super weird technique for some reason. And I did it because I got to play kick drums. Well, I mean, the kick drum itself isn't really the part. It's the contact patch or like the beater that's on the actual pedal itself that hits the drum when you stomp on the pedal. You can get those made out of wood. Wood sounds the best, but it's really hard to play because wood is a softer material. It has rebound, right? Like a drumstick, right? If I hit like a hard surface, like wood on wood, you heard that it was a little loud, but it wants to bounce. Like I did one strike there. It wants to bounce. So the way you actually like make it not bounce is you pretty much have one foot, one beater held down, and then you play it, and then you do like bounce strokes, so you get like the actual like you get the right hit, and then you get like the sound of a dead stroke. But I never got to play one again because I don't have real drums anymore, and I didn't have wooden beaters on my acoustic kit. Now I have an E kit, which is what you see in like all the music videos. All right, where Pano? Where Pano? Where Pano? All right, time for a little bit of music learning, just for the sake of this being a VOD that will also be up on my channel. So we have the startup of a melody, right? How we do this. And so we have a melody, right? Now, when you go to college for the thing I learned in music school, when you have a melody, or really a motif, an idea, there are a few things that you can do to try to help yourself advance, pull more out of that idea. The first one is you do an inversion. Now, normally in inversion, we do this like with music theory and stuff, and you're supposed to start with your first note and then you go down like an exact opposite amount of like half steps. I like to do what we call modal inversion, where we keep it in the same key. So if I were to take this guy and go down to the next whole step in the key, which would be here. So, and then from this one to here is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go down a fifth. 1, 2, 4. Actually, no, wait. We go down a fifth from this note. From this note. Right, so 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where we end up at, right? So if we hear that in context. Actually, that's wrong. That's where that needs to be. Which is an idea. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Personally, I don't think it works here. I'm more of a fan of development through repetition. That's kind of what I like to call it. So, let's see. We went up to this note this last time. How will we go to that one? Let's try that. Welcome to writing music, by the way, in the modern sense. It's a lot of, let me play this section back. Maybe that one. Yeah, okay, I like that better. Do you play any instruments, Raiju? Just out of curiosity. You asked, and I'm kind of interested if you do. I did have a guy in here a while back, and I think he said he was like starting like a music student as like a guitarist, I think. Which I know guitarists are, we're a dime a dozen. But, you know. Man, you don't even want to know. Oh, man. I remember my final semester of music theory classes that I took. And yeah, when you first start like going into like arranging stuff, yeah, it starts looking real messy on the page because it starts turning into just a game of like, okay, is this flat or sharp, or is this half sharp, double sharp, stay in key? What what are we doing? And that's when I learned is like, you know what? I'm gonna keep this in key. And my composition professor told me that's a smart idea. They told me that's a really smart idea because that will keep it staying within the key signature is usually like the easiest way to develop ideas, especially whenever you're making them on top of a chord progression. You know, we're not making freeform jazz here, so most people aren't making freeform jazz and like developing melodies before they develop chord progressions. All right, let's do something with this guy. We're off. We're off. We're off. There we go. Maybe like that. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Need to automate the pedal. Yeah. What would you like to learn? Like, does any instrument jump out at you? Oh wait, no, sorry, you said that earlier. You wanted to learn piano. Is that like the one you want to learn the most, or is that was that the first one that came to mind? Stay within. Stay within. Yeah, it's definitely like one of the more accessible ones. Like when you're first getting started, um, it's easier to sound good, or it's the fastest way to sound good when you're first getting started is on piano, especially with modern music technology and MIDI controllers and electric pianos and everything just being in tune. Um, it kind of depends on what kind of guitar playing you want to do. Like chords and stuff are the biggest hurdle like for like beginning guitar players is building up the calluses, right? Because you're pushing down on wire, on metal wire to change pitches on that thing, right? And people underestimate that does hurt. you know, that does hurt a little bit. Now, whenever I had students, I some of them would bring acoustic guitars in, but if I had the chance to talk to them before, like they even got their instrument, I told them to buy an electric guitar if they want to have an easier time because the necks are usually skinnier, they're easier to hold on to. Acoustic guitars are big instruments. They are loud. They're louder, which is great. But electric guitars are easier to play. Um, there's not as much force required to push down the strings onto the frets usually because the frets are bigger. The action is usually lower, so like the string height against the fretboard itself is usually not as high as it is on acoustic guitars. Also, there's usually not as much string tension on electric guitars versus acoustic guitars. Now, I have a funny story about mine. When I first started playing guitar, I got my first acoustic guitar. It was a brand called Indiana, and it was bought in a flea market by this dude that was just running a music store out of the flea market. And Americans know what that is, right? Um, and the action on it was so tight. I picked it up and played it like I think like 5 years ago. I picked the thing back up because I still have it, and it still hurt my fingers. And at that point, I had been playing guitar for like 20 years. No, like 15-ish years at that point, right? So yeah, a decent quality instrument and like just playing things strategically, you're gonna have a lot more uh, uh you'll have an easier time getting started. Like yeah, no, it's dumb how like tight that thing is wound. And it's in tune. It's just the string tension is ridiculous on it. It's like I'm sitting there playing the thing for like 5 minutes. And it's like, man, my hands hurt. It's like, wow, my fingertips are red. Usually they don't get like that unless I'm like recording a lot of like bendy stuff after like an hour. Indeed, Giorgio. I don't know about that brand. Um, my personal, I actually have two acoustic guitars now. My main recording acoustic guitar, if I actually record acoustic guitar, is a Washburn, and I picked it out because that guitar brand has or did a thing called the Comfort Series. And that means it's got a tummy cut, so it's got like a thing cut out for the back. Or no, it doesn't have a tummy. No, it has a forearm cut, so like the top corner where your arm usually goes around is beveled, right? And then it's got a cutaway in the neck, so you have higher fret access. It's also a little thinner, so it's not massive sounding. It records very well. And then 2 years ago, at a Christmas party for my company, I won a Epiphone Dove acoustic guitar. That was kind of cool. Yeah. Oh man, drums and apartments don't match though. Yeah, no, tell me about it. That's the reason why I can't play my drums now. If I spent the time to like, there are people on YouTube that have like gone into detail about how they play their drums in apartments, and it's all E kits. Um, but they have to build like this shock absorbing platform to have the whole thing on. Excuse me. So it's like two pieces of like particle board that you cut out holes in, big, like almost big enough to put like a tennis ball through, and you put like a bunch of those in, and then you also put like springs and you cover the whole thing in carpet. It was like, holy shit. It's like the things people like go through. And like companies have gotten to the point now where like they make products specifically for e-kits that are supposed to be shock absorbing. But I hear they don't work that well. And there's never anything for the kick drum pad. So like the way my drums work is that it's still using like drum hardware. So like my hi-hat stand is real hardware, and the kick is a kick pad that you put a real kick drum, attach a real kick drum pedal to. Well, stomping on that's still going to send vibrations through the floor. So it kind of like defeats the purpose of that. I was like, well, But yeah, no, like the whole shock absorbing pad thing. So you have to make it big enough for to hold the entire electronic drum kit plus your drum throne. You could actually do it. Like if you got an electronic drum kit, you could actually do it because you're on the ground floor. I wish I was on the ground floor. Matter of fact, when I moved into this complex a few years ago, I thought I was getting the ground floor, but something happened and I ended up on the second floor. Yeah, totally, totally viable for you. Um, the only thing is, when you're playing those, and if it's got like electronic cymbal pads, those will still make a decent amount of noise. They're usually made out of rubber or like hard plastic. So that will still make noise through the walls and through the ceilings. So, but you won't have any pissed off downstairs neighbors to worry about. Okay, let's keep going. No, I don't like Let's put you here. Yeah, and also depends on your on your playing technique too. Like, because a lot of e-kits now are like super realistic, like they have enough sensors on them to where you can actually play them like they're real drums. So like they'll have like sensors on the rims of the heads. The heads themselves can be made of mesh, which if you just hit that, not really gonna make a whole lot of noise, but whacking the rim and the head at the same time, what we call a rim shot, which is usually what most like snare drum hits you're hearing are like rim shots in modern music. And that will definitely make some noise. All right. Maybe. What? Yeah, I can do that. Oh, whoops. I don't think you guys can hear the Windows drafts. Sure. I'm getting what I was doing, just haven't had any luck the last few days. Yeah. Do you want to know a fun thing about how much I relate to that? The whole reason why I started streaming was to give myself an excuse to do something. Because I was thinking about it, and then Space Marine 2 came out last year, and I was like, what the hell, why not? Let's just do it. And yeah, that's why this adventure has yet to stop, unfortunately. Excuse me. Actually, I was kind of getting a little depressed about like my album production, like general music production, and like content creation in general. Just like I've been wanting to do stuff and have just not done it because autism brain probably, or ADHD brain probably. And yeah, it's just kind of been an excuse to do stuff, and it's helped me get on a schedule. Nah, I don't like that. Shit. Where's that? won't do that. Let's see. That's kind of what I'm hearing. Like second round almost said adventure is still happening. Yeah, right. Maybe. It's kind of funny because well, it's not really funny. I got an email from my distributor today because I thought, oh no, is OBS doing that stupid thing where it like, oh, okay, no, you ran into OBS issues. Yeah, right. Tell me about it. Fun thing, the stream chat, on-screen stream chat that you are enjoying right now only works if YouTube decides to not update itself. Which it did last week, which is why I didn't have on-screen chat for one of my streams, which was real fun, totally not annoying. Because I was having to look over at OBS and like see like my chat read like the actual widget. I was like, why aren't you appearing on screen? Let me refresh it. Oh no, YouTube must have done something in the background and screwed up the program. But thankfully OBS had an update this time, or I guess recently. And that fixed the issue. It's pretty much had to refresh the chat. The chat source I use. Which by the way, Chat V2. I completely recommend it. It's great. I'm gonna try something. Just real quick. I'm gonna try to make that damn note work because that's kind of part of my idea. Synth bass going. And actually, I have no idea what the synth bass is. This could be dirty. Very nostalgic. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, though. Oh, there's just no... Nice. What? Huh, that's weird. Actually, no, I need something that's more like it's a little bit more like a pad. Alright, time for this bullshit. I like that sound. Okay. I'm trying to make... I don't know, I guess I'm just not... The chord change is not good enough. So I'm trying to make... Really, I guess I could just make it a... Actually, you know what? I know what I need to do to make that work. Pretty much I would need to take out one of these. Anyway, I would need to make that more the focus, because I'm changing the chord there. I'm technically modulating to a different key, which is fine if, like, the other notes are fading out and they're weaker, and the bass note is kind of all that's left. Doesn't really work while everything else is playing. Yeah, I was just kind of cycling through bass tones. Yeah, that's a fun part. I'm not used to working with Massive yet. I've built a synth in it, but I'm not very good with it. So I'm usually presets and preset browsing just to kind of find something that's sort of in the ballpark of what I want. Let's see. Let's go with... Holy shit. Where am I? What happened? What? Oh, right. I was going through slow attack. Oh, are you kidding me? There's nothing. Ooh. Alright, do that. I want a different note. So, where should we go? Here we go down. Actually, no, we need bum bum. This for a chord progression. And we can change up the guitars a little bit too while we're at it. Let me grab an instrument. It's time for that. I hope this is the guitar I was playing this stuff on last time. Let me find out real quick. Yeah. Yes, it is. Alright, turn that on. Deal, now I've got that. Excuse me. Nope, whoops, turn you off. Now I have another. I came up with another idea. Or really, no. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Duh. No shit, I did. No, I have a secondary idea of this one where it's kind of like. Or we do this kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know. We need to play with the chord progression a bit. So like. Maybe. Kind of cool. I don't know if that really fits our theme we're going with. So where's all the drum stuff at? I'm gonna extend this out just a bit. Just do a good old copy paste. Our friend. Control C, Control V. Turn the metronome on. And then we're gonna make that's the chord progression. Okay. Maybe not. Yeah, this is definitely a different kind of section, so we'll keep that there. Insert a new, make it a new region, separate the idea from it, so I have it. And I'm gonna jam this for just a minute and see if I can come up with something that I like in the guitars. I'll tell you what, let's do it this way so I have some width. Riveting. Hang on. Take all of this. Glue. And we'll change this. So. What was about to do? Definitely need something with a slower attack on it, but that's an idea. What happened? What happened? Hang on. What are you doing, you idiot? Stop that. Glue. Like that. Okay. Let's try that again. Back to jamming. I like the progression. This bass track needs to... This bass track is... This needs something a little bit less... Alright. Some of them have sequencers on it. This is fun. Attention Shoppers is the name of that one. That's fun. Alright, we're gonna do this one. Then I've got to do this. Copy that, and then... that doesn't affect anything. We might just have to deal with an attack for a little bit. That's what was the problem. that's kind of fun. Okay. Always remember, keep it simple. Always remember to keep it simple. Let me do a little record of that. I think I can I think I can play that without screwing up twice. That's not what I need. That. No, I can't. An attempt was made. Another attempt shall be made. So we get this right. Time to start punch editing. What's going on? Why can't I select that? There we go. It sounds a little quiet right now just because of you're hearing one track, and specifically you're probably hearing it out of your left ear. So the way we record guitars typically, at least with the genres I like whenever I make music, is I will double track them. So I'll have a guitar on this side, and then I'll do another recording of that guitar, but, you know, on the other side. And whenever you combine them together, you'll get a wide stereo image. Let me get through with this, and we can demonstrate what that means. Let's see, where is that? One more try. Sure. Just bring it through here. Why not? Guess we can record this 4 at a time. That's fine. Caught me off guard. I wasn't ready. Cool. Okay. Now we can illustrate this. As I screw this part up, definitely, but you know, you get the idea. There you go. Not bad. not bad. Actually did it decent there. Yeah, we probably have. We probably have. But, you know, I don't do many music streams. I might try to make this a thing where we just, I don't know, I kind of try to make them. You know, it gets me back to doing more music stuff. Which, you know, this is supposed to be a music channel, so this can be a good excuse to actually do some music. So that's at least kind of my idea, at least for yep, words, at least for the next little bit. Okay, what can I do here? What can I do here? We can start off by not recording my voice into the amplifier so it doesn't sound like this. Yeah, so pretty much that's how you do it. You get 2 different takes and you pan them hard left and hard right, and the slight indifferences in the way it was played will give you a nice wide effect. It won't give you like it's sounding straight in the center. It'll make it sound like there's 2 different guitars. Let's see. I'm gonna try something. We are gonna try doing some where's my where are my guitar amps? Audio Assault? Yes. Yeah, all of the delays. Just give me all of them. Holy crap. Yeah, kind of one of those things like, I'm completely self-taught with my audio production stuff. So, like, everything I've had to learn on my own, or learn from YouTube tutorials, just kind of telling me stuff. And the YouTube tutorials will definitely help me, definitely helped me do stuff, but I didn't start actually getting decent at it until I learned what those things that they were teaching me actually meant and how to actually apply them. So kind of like unlearning them. But alright, it is time to start jamming lead stuff. Just gonna throw everything at the kitchen, and throw the kitchen sink at it. At. I kind of like the idea of like the Definitely not. Definitely not. That's definitely a crunch tone if I've ever heard it. Yeah, definitely. Sure. This is becoming noodling. This is just becoming a bed of solo. Well, we know this works. That's fun, and that's based on that's just the thing from earlier. Maybe. There's something there. There's something there. There's something there. There is something there, specifically in the back half of this. So, like, it sounds the best here. Right. So, like, turn this off for a second. Alright, it's close. There's something there. It's not exact, and it probably doesn't need to also be a lead guitar. It probably needs to be like a piano or something. You know, right now I kind of can't noodle on a piano because my piano is across the room. So that's the issue that we're kind of running into. Hmm. So if I just... Let me make a scratch track of that, and then we'll translate it to MIDI piano. Just real quick. Nope. Hmm. Something like that, something like that, something like that. That's probably the best one I've done. We're mostly hanging out around C sharp minor. But a very chilled out, kind of hopeful interpretation of it, rather than sitting on specifically the sad minor chord. As you know, this chord progression is kind of anything but. As a matter of fact, this chord progression is actually a little generic, but this is music. This is making live music on the fly live. Let's see, where are we at? So that would be way up here. That starts out here. That's the same idea. No. Whoops. Do something different. Okay, we got the basis of that. So an important thing that I think might want to consider when we're writing music. I like to distinguish my stuff less from the tones that we're actually making and more about the initial idea of the notes themselves and the harmonies and how they're playing into each other. That's something I can do. I don't really have to hear, you know, I don't have to necessarily hear the right tone to make the idea seem like it's going to work. Like say, we essentially just did the exact same melody that I played on guitar, because that's just the closest instrument I had in hand to noodle and create a melody off of, and translate it to a different instrument, and it works better, right? So. Yeah, okay. And we're getting somewhere. Definitely getting somewhere. Let's go ahead and try to apply some of this to the back half. So we'll start off kind of like how we did over here in this section. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think what chord I'm at. Nope, not that one. Nah. Nah, that's not the idea. Tell you what we'll do. We're gonna add in a do some funny stuff. Don't need that. You need to be what? High cut. There we go. We'll do like this. We'll make this kind of a swell into thing, so that's not there. Right here. Right here. Oh, that's loud. Make some chords real quick, and then we'll process the absolute crap out of them. That's the chord we're looking for. And the little Peckerty third action. Well, we'll do a kind of there. Where turn that down. Why isn't this? Why is this like the most least aggressive thing ever? Modify it. Keep it way down in the mix. And spell a major chord because you know. Do that, maybe. Ooh. 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 There's something. Is there a common tone? Not really. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Do that, do some volume automation just real quick, maybe. Bump you up the tiniest bit. Just a little crescendo. That's fun. Throw you into this reverb. This is getting... We're getting somewhere. Just scarce, sparse ideas. So... Wow. It's almost been 2 hours already. I cannot believe I made it. I wasn't feeling the most musical today. And here we are 2 hours later. So... Let's see. That does not work, though. Is something wrong? Right, you? Is something wrong? I mean, it's not designed to do this, but I have a feeling this will just happen to... This will just work. Doesn't really work, but it's good. Let me say, musical ideas. You throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. Tell you what will work, though. I bet it will work. Flip them. Flip them. Works out a little bit better going that way. Still not totally how I would do it, but okay. I think that's going to be where I call it. I think I'm about musiced out on this idea for a little bit. So yeah. This was kind of fun. I at least got the actual idea itself down on paper. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and do idea A. Call this idea B, and then we'll call all this crap here idea intro. Idea intro. Everything is still up on the chopping block, including the whole damn project. Oh, he's fine. I don't know. That other guy was fine. More than likely also just playing into his character of his, his screen name a bit there. But I won't say anything about that. That's people on the internet gonna people on the internet. What can I say? Ugh. And, we're talking about the extremely subjective art form that is music that people like to treat that there are objective qualities to. Which outside of does it hurt your ears, there are none. Alright. I think what we'll do is I'll do a render of this tonight, and I will listen to it tomorrow and see if I get any ideas out of it. And I don't know if we'll do this again next week, because next week I'm going on vacation, and I don't remember what days I'm going to be out of the state. So I think I'm just going to call off the stream schedule for that week. So I'll have myself a little vacation from everything. Well, thanks for coming, Rachel. Good to see you, as always. Thank you, VOD watchers, for watching. And everybody, have yourselves a great night. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, I can't end the stream like that. We're not playing a Sly Cooper game. Damn it, I need to remove that. And all right. See you guys later.